Welcome back to my YouTube channel. This is Robert Ralph, freelance writer and content creator. Today I wanted to talk about tagging other writers. It's a good way to make money, and I just wanted to go into the pros and cons of doing this, the reasons why you should and the reasons why you shouldn't. But it is a decent way of making money, providing it's used in the correct context. As I'm sure all of you know, you can tag writers in your articles. If you're not sure how to do that, I will link a article that I wrote below explaining how that can be done. Now, there's writers that have different ways of doing this. The way that some people do it is they write an article and they might tag 20 or 30 or 40. I've known up to 100 people being tagged before at the bottom of their article. Now, for me, this is the way you don't do it. You're simply tagging another fellow writer in the hope that they see their name in the notifications, they go to your article and they read it. Now, for me, this is a short-term solution. And the reason being is I actually get a little bit frustrated as a writer, seeing that my name is being tagged in an article, only going to read that article and I'm not actually in the article itself. There's no reference to me in the article. I'm just simply tagged at the bottom. So for me, that is a way that another writer has tagged me purely to get a view and a read. I don't like that at all. I will say that probably out of the 500 plus stories I've written, I don't know how many I have written, but I'll put it on the screen. I've probably been guilty of doing that 3 times. So I have done it myself. But I would be very careful how I select to do that. For the same reason as I've just mentioned. It absolutely, excuse my French, pisses me off when somebody tags me and I'm not any part of their actual article apart from being tagged at the bottom. So for me, that's a big no-no, but let's go into some ways that you can tag people, it be relevant, and you can create connections from doing so. Now, there are some writers out there, and I might use the term writing a little bit loosely. I would suggest they're salespeople that write. They've got their head switched on, they understand what content creating is all about, and they will friend you. And they will friend you, and they will write an article, they will tag you in the article, and they make reference to you within their article. And to be fair, when my name has been tagged in these sort of articles, it's been genuine. They made a reference to myself or my publication or an article I've written. They've possibly put a link to my article. I have no issue with this at all. No issue at all. The writer or salesperson, as I would call them, generally are trying to promote themselves and create a community by including other people within their article. So let me give you an example of when I have done this. I've done it when I write about my Medium earnings as an example. Over the last 2 months, I think I've done this, where instead of just writing what my goal was for that month or for that year and what I actually achieved and how I achieved that given goal, I've included the writers to say congratulations on what they've achieved, made reference to them, put down what their target was, what they achieved, link their article, and then it gives a sense of a small snippet, I guess, a small snapshot of what other writers have done also. So it helps to put my earnings into context. So that type of thing I completely get, as I said at the start, because you're promoting another writer. The reason I've tagged them is in context of my article. And hopefully, to be fair, I hope the people who have read my article and who have interest in what I've earned will hopefully click on these other writers' articles and have a read of what they've earned as well. Not everyone likes people, put my pen down, showing off about what they've earned, but I have failed targets based on what I would like to earn for that month, and I've achieved targets of what I wanted to earn that month. And I'll give you the true story and also screen grabs to what I've earned, so you can see whether I failed or succeeded for that particular month. So that type of article I'm absolutely cool with. If you've written an article and you've included me within that article to say, well done, Rob, for doing X, Y, and Z, or perhaps, you know, I've got a difference of opinion with Rob, he's written this and this is my opinion of it. Kudos to you, that's absolutely fantastic. I've got no issue with that whatsoever, because it's relevant to your article. The other thing that I quite like, and I've asked writers to do this for me, if I've written on a particular subject, and maybe it's a subject that I know a lot about, and I'm challenging other people to give me a difference of opinion, or maybe it's a topic that I'm not so familiar with. I'll give you an example of this. I recently wrote an article for the Third Eye Gypsy, run by friend Marilyn Glover, and I wrote about spirituality, and I don't know a lot about it. I have a preconceived idea what that is, and that's basically the article that I wrote, and I will link it in the description below. But at the end of my article, I basically give a shout out to other writers to say, look, this is my thoughts, but I'm here to be educated. Let me know what your thoughts are as well. If you would like to write a story, and if you'd like to tag me into that story, please do, because I'd like to know a little bit more about the subject, a little bit more about the topic. And by tagging me, I know that you've written it, because I might not be a follower of you as an example, but if you tag me in it, it's something I really would like to read and enjoy and learn a little bit more about. So that's a great way of tagging somebody, and I've given people permission to do that, so that's absolutely fine. That's the opposite of what I first mentioned when I first started the video. It's just aimlessly tagging me for no reason in the hope that you're going to get some more views and reads. In fact, there has been, I would say, new writers that have done that as a way of trying to get followers, the follow for follow type people. And I've just simply blocked them. I'm just not interested. Please don't tag me in aimless articles that I have absolutely no interest in whatsoever. So look, that's my take on it. What are your thoughts? You know, I'm sure you have your own thoughts on tagging. Answer the question, do you tag writers in your articles? And if so, what is the reason that you tag these writers? Do you agree with me that tagging aimlessly is something that you don't like, or do you not mind being tagged aimlessly? Do you like being tagged in articles, or would you prefer not to be? Let's start a discussion. Tell me the reasons why. Do you feel that I'm being harsh by calling some of these writers salespeople? Effectively, I guess that's what content creators are. Maybe not so much writers, although you do want to promote your writing. You do want people to read your articles. You want to get eyes on your paper, so to speak. But a lot of content creators, I think, are going away from writing per se and becoming a little bit salesy. And that's entirely up to them. That's not a criticism. In my line of work, I am a salesperson. So I guess it takes one to know one, so to speak. I just feel that some of the content creators, some of these writers that are salesy, are maybe losing connections with their community. And it's a shame. It is a real shame. But hey ho, look, these are just my feelings. I'm not saying I'm correct. They're just how I think of things and what I believe. That's it for today. Hopefully you've enjoyed the content. I've got some more juicy stuff coming, and I have got some more conversation with some great writers that are on the way during February and March. I've got some nice writers lined up to have a conversation with, so I hope you're looking forward to that. Thanks for watching. Give me a thumbs up if you like the content. Leave a comment if you wish to do so. I'd love to have a debate with you, or simply just get your thoughts. Your thoughts are the right ones. No one should tell you what you're feeling is right or wrong. I just like to get an insight into other people's worlds and see what you think. Thanks for watching. Take care. This is Robert Ralph, freelance writer, salesperson, and content creator. Bye.